You're lying in bed, eyes closed, almost there. And then your whole body jerks like you just fell off a cliff. You didn't fall, nothing happened. But your heart is pounding and now you're wide awake again. This happens to 60 to 70% of all humans. It has a name. It has a science behind it. And the real explanation is one of the stranger things your brain does without telling you. Here's what's actually going on. The moment you start to fall asleep, your body begins to shut down in stages. Breathing slows, heart rate drops, muscles start releasing tension one by one. To you, this feels like relaxing. To your brain, this looks like something else entirely. Your brain is ancient. It was built long before beds existed, long before houses, long before the concept of a safe place to sleep was even possible. For millions of years, your ancestors slept in trees, on rocky ground, in places where losing muscle tension could mean sliding off a branch and falling to your death. So your brain developed a failsafe. As muscles go limp during early sleep, the brain sometimes misreads that signal. It doesn't see relaxation, it sees falling. And it does the only thing it knows how to do. It fires a jolt through your entire nervous system to jerk you awake, to catch yourself, to grab the branch before you hit the ground. The branch isn't there. You're in a bed. But the reflex doesn't know that. It's running software that's millions of years old, responding to a threat that no longer exists, in a situation it was never designed for. That jolt is called a hypnic jerk. And the falling sensation that sometimes comes with it, that flash of a dream where you're tumbling through air, is your brain constructing a story to explain the reflex after the fact. First, the jerk fires. Then the brain creates a reason. The feeling of falling didn't cause the twitch. The twitch caused the feeling of falling. But here's where it gets more interesting. Not everyone experiences hypnic jerks equally, and the difference comes down to how fast and how hard your brain is trying to shut itself down. When you're exhausted, your brain crashes towards sleep faster than usual. That rapid transition trips the wire more easily. When you're stressed, your nervous system is still running at a higher baseline, so the gap between wakefulness and sleep is wider and harder to cross smoothly. Caffeine keeps your nervous system artificially activated, so even as your body tries to sleep, part of your brain is still fighting it. And that conflict produces more misfires. Exercise close to bedtime does the same thing. Your system is still elevated when it should be winding down. All of these things make the brain more likely to misread the signal, more likely to see falling, more likely to fire the jerk. This is why you notice hypnic jerks far more on the nights you're most exhausted or most stressed. It's not random, it's your brain trying to cross a gap that's larger than normal and stumbling in the process. The twitch itself is harmless. It cannot hurt you. It is not a sign of anything wrong with your brain or your nervous system. For most people, it happens occasionally and then disappears as deeper sleep takes over. The later stages of sleep don't produce hypnic jerks at all. Only the transition does. Only the moment of crossing over. Some people get them almost every night. Some people sleep through them without ever waking up. Their partner notices the twitch, but they have no memory of it. Some people get them so strongly and so frequently that they start to dread falling asleep, which creates more anxiety, which raises the nervous system baseline, which makes the jerks worse. That loop is real and it is miserable, but it starts from a reflex that is completely normal. The fix, to the extent there is one, is the same as improving sleep in general. Cut caffeine earlier in the afternoon. Don't exercise intensely in the last 2 hours before bed. Give your nervous system time to wind down before you expect it to sleep. The slower and more gradual the descent into sleep, the less likely the brain is to panic on the way down. But honestly, for most people, most of the time, the hypnic jerk is just this. A 300-million-year-old survival reflex, misfiring in a soft bed, in a safe room, because your brain is still convinced you might be sleeping in a tree. You're not. You're fine. Go back to sleep.